do you remember were known as Big Brown Beaver?
Eavesdroppin.
Well, hello. Hello to you, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great. I've got to find something more than great to say, but I feel great. I feel great.
Are you just great? I mean, that's fine. We did say last episode that there's only two states of being. It's either laughing or crying. So you could just be great or not great, couldn't you?
Yes. Great, not great. It's all good.
Today's a great day?
Today's a great...
Is it great?
Great day. It is. I know it's always the bloody weather report, but we do have the sun out.
Okay. Yay for the sun.
It was, I'm not even joking, it was 28 degrees the other day here.
Same.
What the hell?
In two very cold countries. Yeah. We're both living in notoriously cold countries. And guess what, people? It's not always grey and sad in London and Switzerland.
No.
It's sunny too. Chill out, guys. Or don't chill out. Warm up, guys.
Warm it up.
Warm it up.
Before we go on with more drivel, we must introduce ourselves.
Intros.
Yes.
Okay, this is me. I'm Geordie. I'm the one with this sounding voice.
Yes, and I'm Michelle, and I sound like this half the time.
Can you tell the difference?
I think
between the two of us?
Of course they can.
I hope they can.
Of course. And you're listening to Eavesdroppin, the comedy the comedy podcast.
What? The comedy pug.
A comedy pug. The comedy pug cast. Yes. And you're an eavesdropper because you're listening in.
Pugs are quite comedic. Right. Yes. Sorry. Back to topic. You are an eavesdropper. You're listening in on our conversation. We're just having a chat. But that's okay. We're not going to tell you off. You're riding the bus with us. You might be the seat in front or the seat behind. God forbid you're the seat next to, because then you'll get completely involved.
Yes.
You love it or you hate it. Hopefully you love it.
And it's a hop-on, hop-off experience. You hop on for an hour and then you hop off the eavesdropping bus.
That's right. Or you hop on. You hop on until it gets really disgusting or upsetting, and then we'll give you a trigger warning. You can hop off for 10 seconds or a minute, hop back on again. That can happen. Fast forward buttons, people. That's what we do with the ads. Sorry about that.
Yes. Now, for anyone who listened to last week's episode...
Yes, I've got a few things to explain about that. Yes.
What?
Yes.
About DTF?
No, I forgot the television recommendation that I was trying to give. Do you remember I said, I watched the thing, I couldn't bloody remember. Don't even know why I mentioned it.
It was the most ridiculous wreck. It was almost as good as your mum's wreck.
Something about chrysalises or something. Yeah, well, this one starred Mark Ruffalo, and it was called Task. And it was recommended to me by Tristan McShepherd, the film director. He's amazing. And also his wife, Bethany McShepherd. They both recommended this TV show, and you did. Because you've seen it, right? You put it on the Rex.
I started watching the first episode and then I forgot. Like everything else,
it's really good.
About it.
Really good.
I will have to go back to it because I do like Mark Ruffalo. I really liked him in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I don't remember him in that.
Well, he was kind of a bit creepy in it, but he was very good. It's still one of my fave films. And that was actually when, Jim Carrey still had a normal face.
Yeah. Creepy guys, hey? There were a feature last week. There'll be a feature every week. I think that's just the nature of the game, guys.
Yes.
Creepy. You're a bit creepy. But we love it. We love it. We're here for it.
I don't love it.
So that was my television recommendation.
Thank you.
Also watched a film, my 15-year-old daughter's favourite film, Baby Driver. I was reluctant, but I went in. And I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen that for a long, long, long time.
It's good. You've seen it?
Yeah, but that's the one with he was never my cup of tea. He looks a bit too much like my brother.
John Hamm.
But the blonde guy.
Who's the blonde guy?
Am I thinking of the same film?
I don't think you are.
Baby Driver. Let me look that up.
You're thinking of something else. And in the meantime, I'm going to say to you...
Yes.
The reason why this is a segue from Baby Driver, I didn't realise, but Baby Driver, how many times can I say that in one sentence? It is a film by Edgar Wright, who is the guy who worked a lot with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yes.
And those two together made three of them together made these wonderful films that my son loves, which are Hot Fuzz, The Shaun of the Dead,
yes.
and pub at the end of the world. That's not what it's called. The World's End.
Right.
World's End.
World's End.
They're great. They're called the Cornetto Trilogy, and they're quite silly and fun. Well, he went to America and he made this film. No sign of Nick Frost or Simon Pegg, but there's a segue. Nick Frost is about to star in the new Harry Potter TV series as Hagrid.
Now, are people still allowed to like Harry Potter?
This is where I was going with that. So I follow him on Instagram, and he posted the trailer, which looked amazing, and I did enjoy watching those films. I haven't read the books, whatever.
I read all the books and didn't watch the films.
Oh, you must watch the films. They're great. Of course, Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. Whoa. My daughter, who was 5 at the time, was really into him.
Okay.
The films were great. I think I'd like to watch the TV show, but of course we're not allowed to like J.K. Rowling because she has very divisive views on gender.
I
believe.
am not sure
what her views are.
That she really does have divisive views. I think she made a comment that was misconstrued and picked up on negatively, from what I understand.
That's what I thought too, but actually it looks like she's doubled down.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think. We can't comment, because as usual, Michelle and I, we have got no clue. We don't know.
What did she actually say? I'm just going to pop this
she's
in.
Googling away. Have you Googled the other thing? And what was the film that starred your brother that wasn't Baby Driver? That was the other thing.
Oh, yes.
You've forgotten. She gets confused. She gets distracted. Who doesn't?
Here it is. What did J.K. Rowling originally say? Exactly. She retweeted an op-ed piece that discussed people who menstruate, apparently taking issue with the fact that the story did not use the word women.
Oh.
People who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumben? Wimpund? Wombed?
This is a very poor attempt at humour.
Yes. Is that what it all came down to?
I don't think so. I think it was to do with toilets and transgender people in sports, all sorts of things. I'm not touching it. I don't want to be a part of it because I'm of the opinion that people should identify however they fucking want.
Yes, but if you get your rags, you're a woman.
Well, that's true.
So what's the issue in saying...
What's even the point of having the conversation about it? Why is there an op-ed piece on people getting their period?
I guess because instead of saying a woman, they said a person who menstruates.
Oh.
So they're taking away gender from a body action.
But don't forget that gender is a social construct. It's not the biology, is it?
For someone who said she doesn't want to get into it, it's like, okay.
There's the sex and then there's the gender.
Opening Pandora's box.
I know what I believe, but I also know that gender is one thing. It's a social construct. But biology, male, female, sex, there is a word for that and I can't remember it. So let's move on.
I think it's better to move on because...
Let's move on. I've got other things to say.
I know, but I just will say, if that was really what started all the controversy for... poor old J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
She must have been like, what the fuck?
Oh, I think she
Where did
went
that
harder.
come from?
I think she went hard. She's probably got so much money that she knows any trouble she can get into, she can buy herself a lawsuit. Maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing. Don't come for me. I have no idea.
Don't come for me either.
Don't come for us. We have enough of that trouble on YouTube. Listen, you were going to say something about DTF, which was our episode last week.
Yes. I was going to say, have you bloody watched it?
No, I haven't had time, Michelle. I'm too busy gallivanting. I was in France, you see. Didn't have access to Wi-Fi.
I'm just looking up Baby Driver as we talk.
You do that. And in the meantime, can I tell you something I listened to and learnt on Radio 4?
Yes.
Have you heard about a water cremation?
What the hell? No.
I know, right? I stumbled across it in this... I don't know what it was I was listening to while I was driving somewhere. Honestly, I had to go and look it up because it was quite astonishing. Because obviously, you know, we've talked about cremations and things like that before. We know that traditionally when somebody dies, you've got two main options, your burial or your cremation. But now there's this third option that's starting to take off, and it's called water cremation. It sounds like something out of a science fiction film, but apparently it's a very real thing, Michelle.
But what does that mean? They turn you into water? They pop you in a blender? No, but really, what do they do? A
human NutriBullet. Oh, the technical name is alkaline hydrolysis, but it also goes by a slightly friendlier name like aquamation or resumation or biocremation. And that all makes it sound like a spa treatment for the afterlife.
I was going to say the aquamation, it's like, oh, yeah, I'll sign up for the Tuesday class. Do you know what I mean? It does sound like, what the hell?
But listen, instead of flames, the body is placed in a sealed chamber filled with water and an alkaline solution, which is then heated and pressurized for a few hours. The process basically speeds up the natural breakdown of the body, leaving just the bones behind, which is much better to what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were just going to drop them off the edge of a boat.
No, Geordie.
Yeah.
That's basically a fucking casserole. It is. The body has just been popped in a pressure cooker and it's a fucking human casserole. What the hell? That's a slow cooker.
It's just your meat suit after all.
It is your meat
Take one meat suit. Place it in the alkaline solution. Listen, the bones that are left behind, Michelle, we don't just leave them to hang about. They then get dried and turned into some sort of powdery ash that you could get from a normal cremation. And then that gets returned to the family in an urn. So you're liking it?
Having worked... No, I work in kitchens and I see what the chefs do with the fucking bones. They boil those bones down. They create all sorts of, stocks and shit. But basically, it's the basis for all the deliciousness, apparently.
The deliciousness, exactly.
And that's what they could be doing with this whole water cremation. They could turn you into a human stock.
Absolutely. But they don't, thank God.
No.
And the reason why this is becoming more popular is because it's meant to be more environmentally friendly. I think I've spoken to you previously about how bad for the environment cremation is.
Oh, yes.
This uses 90% less energy than traditional cremation and produces far less carbon dioxide.
Right.
And the whole idea of it is spreading really quickly. Apparently, it's already legal in parts of the US, Canada, and South Africa. And interestingly, Scotland has just become the first place in the UK to legalise it, with the first services coming any month now.
Okay. Look, maybe I just need to get my head around it. Maybe I do just now have images of foot, leg and kidney stew. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Although, really, how much worse is it than burned?
Being burnt.
That's also not pleasant and takes a lot of energy and fuel. So
I will tell you, though, that Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he chose it for his funeral.
Is he dead?
He specifically wanted the most environmently friendly opinion.
Yes?
Yes.
I love how you say, yes,
of course he is.
One moment, Google. While you're Googling that, I will say I just looked up Ryan Gosling and I was like, that's the blonde I'm thinking of. And the movie is Drive, not Baby Driver, just Drive.
Not Baby Driver. Okay, we got that.
And I thought, gosh, you're letting your daughter watch Drive. Okay, because as I recall, that was quite an intense film.
Right. No, it wasn't that one. He died in 2021. Google has just confirmed.
In the COVID years. Yeah, okay.
Yes, exactly.
I don't keep up with who's dead and who's alive. Can I tell you, though?
No, you don't.
I was talking to Jen. Have I mentioned this on the podcast? She ran into a friend, an old friend who saw her on the street, and she was like, Jenny, oh, hi. I thought you were dead. And... And Mum,
what the hell?
Oh, Mum was
Thanks,
like,
love.
Still here, still going, still kicking.
What do you say when people greet you in that way? I guess you have to get to 80.
I thought you were dead.
Oh, there you are. Thought you were dead.
There you were. Thought you were long dead.
Didn't I go to your funeral?
Oh, dear. I mean, at least it hasn't come to that.
Yet. Exactly.
Yet.
She made it awkward. She
made it awkward. How did I make it awkward?
Awkward.
She dare you.
Awkward. She made it awkward.
Outrageous.
How bloody awkward. Well, this is awkward. How bloody awkward. Awkward. Bloody hell.
Fuck you.
Michelle, are you ready to hear what I've got to tell you this week?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I'm going to meander into the story for this week. It's real life and it's slightly creepy. But I want to just tell you, first of all, that whilst scrolling Instagram, as I am wont to do, I have noticed a lot of accounts where people discuss in particular Stanley Kubrick films.
Oh, my God.
Like in frame-by-frame subtext kind of things about what's going on in The Shining and Eyes Wide Shut.
But what's going on with that? Because our chef just had a discussion with me only last week about Stanley Kubrick films and my favourite Stanley Kubrick films. And I was like, okay, what brought this on?
What brought it on? What happened?
Stanley Kubrick has been around forever.
Yeah. He died, by the way. He has died.
He's what? No, I'm joking. But is there some kind of resurgence in his work? Like, what's going on?
I think it's because of what I'm about to tell you, to be honest with you. They seem to allude, some of the films, particularly Eyes Wide Shut, which I'm talking about now, and The Shining to a certain degree, they allude to various elitist conspiracies. Now, I haven't seen Eyes Wide Shut, have you?
Yes, and...
That appalling thing with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
They were still married, made in 1999.
Well, it's all kind of like weird sex things and masks, but actually... May I segue away, now that I think about masks? May I segue away from your story for one moment?
Well, it is all about masks, actually, Michelle, so you may.
Okay, interesting. There is a band.
Oh, yes, Poitrine,
yes.
Dungy, whatever they're called.
Angine de Poitrine, which means angina, basically. And you've seen those masks that they're wearing.
Are they real or are they AI? They've got half notes all up their guitars and things, and the guy just uses
he made his own guitar.
They're amazing.
He made his own guitar where it's a bass on the bottom. It's a double neck guitar, bass and a guitar on the top. And
yes, but the frets are all half notes.
And I mean, because I saw that video and I was like, oh my God, these are just art school kids who said, Mom, can you make me a costume? And
yeah, they're pretty basic.
And then I was like, these are art school kids whose parents made them, listen to primers when they were a kid. Do you remember Winona's Big Brown Beaver when that song came out? I mean, and that's all kind of like heavy guitars, no lyrics, just instrumental. And they're all wearing masks and outfits and stuff.
I don't recall. I missed that.
But I thought, it's very interesting and cool to see somebody doing something different.
Yeah.
However, I did just a very quick Google on them, and I think they might be our age.
Yeah.
I think they're not kids.
No, they're not kids.
I think they are dudes.
Yeah.
Who have been around the block.
I think they're extremely talented and very practiced for years and years and years.
I think so too.
There's no way they're kids.
Yes. I actually really enjoyed listening to the tracks. I thought they were fantastic. And they don't speak. That's how they communicate. And they do this. That's their triangle. And all their gigs, the branding is spectacular.
Right. That's very conspiratorial, that triangle in the sky.
Yes. And of course, everyone's trying to demask them.
Of course.
Like there's something behind them.
Did they ever try and demask? What's the other band that you can't see? Daft Punk.
No.
Daft Punk and Kiss. I mean, there have been bands who've done it before. But listen, I'm going to go back to Eyes Wide Shut and the whole mask thing. As you've just said, it's an erotic psychological drama directed by, as we know, Stanley Kubrick, following Tom Cruise. He's a Manhattan doctor who learns his wife is nearly cheated, apparently. Correct me if I'm wrong. I got this off the internet.
I saw it so many years ago. I don't remember.
Course. He goes on some bizarre, sexy journey into sex clubs, and it leads him to accidentally entering into a masked, secretive gathering of wealthy elites.
Yes.
This is the most talked about moment of the film, the masked party. It's a secret society orgy full of people in cloaks, masks and robes. And it has an eerie silence. There's a ritualistic essence to it. And apparently it makes you think about it for weeks and days after seeing it. That's why I'll never see it.
As I recall, they kind of blagged their way in.
Right.
To the party.
They accidentally get in, yeah.
Well, they wanted to go.
Oh, they did.
They blagged their way in. And I could be wrong, because like I said, I don't really remember this film, but that scene was quite intense.
Ooh.
And they are kind of discovered as intruders.
Ooh.
So it doesn't go well for them. But please write in and tell me if I'm wrong, because...
Do write in. I don't want to see it.
The old memory is full of holes.
Well, so we've got masks being used for anonymity to conceal the identity of all the attendees, and it creates this unsettling atmosphere where powerful figures can indulge in forbidden antics outside the rule of law or societal norms. But Kubrick didn't put masks in that scene randomly, it's said. They say that he specifically used Venetian carnival masks, which have traditionally been used for centuries to provide anonymity whilst reveling, so people could let their hair down without fear of ruining reputations. And he chose those masks deliberately to give the sequence a timeless and unsettling quality. So where do these conspiracy theories come from? You know, this was Kubrick's last film, and he died of a heart attack just days after handing in the near final cut of the film. Wasn't quite finished. People think that had something to do with it. Some Redditors have been known to fuel this conspiracy fire with comments like this from ex-Uncle X Sway X, who says Kubrick was murdered for exposing the Epstein world in this movie so it could be re-edited to minimize exposure. I'm full tinfoil hat on this one. I'm sure he's not the only one, Michelle.
Right. Okay. I mean, this seems like a lot of looking backwards to put context into...
Joining dots, yeah.
Joining dots where... Do you remember, like, when you were a kid and you would do join the dot?
Yes, I do.
Things, and it would always be an elephant. But I feel like joining these dots, you're going to end up with...
Epstein.
Well, no, I'm not sure that...
Elite, baby eating, all of the above.
What I'm saying is I'm not sure that these are really dots that should be joined. I don't think you get the elephant at the end of the picture.
They don't go anywhere. They're not connected.
I just think you get a big scramble.
No. And I think that the online communities are getting really excited about this game of dot to dot. Their interpretations involve things like Illuminati symbolism and occult rituals.
Oh, the Illuminati.
Yes, the Illuminati, the big triangle in the sky.
Like those bloody French Quebec kids who aren't kids.
Poitrine de Vitrine or whatever they're called.
Angina.
Secret powerful elites. Angina. So listen, that's not what we're talking about today, Michelle, but we are talking about masks. So thank you to Poitrine de Angine and Stanley Kubrick, because here we are. Let's discuss how fun and or creepy masks can be.
Well, funny you should say about the Venetian masks, because I was in Italy just a couple of days ago, and I walked into a shop, and it was a second-hand store, and it had all this really old, lovely jewelry and stuff, and then on the wall, these fucking creepy masks. And I did actually think of Eyes Wide Shut, because those Venetian masks have been tainted forever by that film, I believe.
Oh, yeah. God, really?
Yeah, really. Not in a good way. Masks they're such an interesting way for people to not be themselves, to maybe let the darker side of themselves come through because they think they will not be discovered. A little bit like when you talk about shadow self or something, I wonder like what it is with the allure of the mask that allows people to feel so uninhibited.
Anonymity, uninhibited. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, listen, I've got a story here from history that features masks. I spotted, again, a post from Instagram accompanied by a grotesque picture of a mask made from human hair.
What? Oh.
The account that I got this from is called ridiculously_interesting, in case you'd like to see it for yourself. You can link that up. It's genuinely one of the most unsettling artifacts in Scottish history. Ooh. It's a 17th century disguise mask made from leather, fitted with real human hair, false teeth. Why don't you Google it right now while I'm talking about it? False teeth and feathers. And it's every bit as disturbing as it sounds. I'll tell you who it belonged to. It's Alexander Peden, Peden. He was born in 1626 and was a radical Presbyterian preacher and one of the most famous figures. You were looking at it, are you?
I don't know if I'm seeing the right one, but...
Oh, I'd say you are.
Oh, my God.
Hair, teeth, feathers.
It's just two teeth. Two little tiny baby teeth on the bottom.
It's terrific.
A smart cover-up of Fuel for Nightmares. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
It's every bit as disturbing as it sounds, as Michelle has now found out.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, so Alexander Peden, born in 1626, he was a radical Presbyterian preacher and one of the most famous figures in the Scottish Covenanter or Covenanter movement. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So I have to now give you a quick Scottish history lesson. 17th century Scotland was in chaos, right? The Covenanters were basically a group of hardcore Presbyterians who refused to let the king mess with their church. So this spiraled into wars, shifting alliances. Think Game of Thronesy kind of, times. Even a run-in with Oliver Cromwell. And spoiler, it didn't end well for them.
Right.
The Covenanters believed that Christ was just the only one that was the head of their church, no one else. And that belief made them traitors. So preachers like Peden were outlawed, hunted, fined, imprisoned, tortured, all of the above, often executed, and even attending an illegal sermon could get you killed. Preaching one almost guaranteed it. But that didn't stop Alexander Peden, oh no. Instead, he went underground, got himself a nice mask, and he travelled constantly, sleeping rough, hiding in farm buildings, fields, caves, sometimes the home of sympathisers. His sermons would be held outdoors in secret to armed congregations who posted lookouts for government troops who might come and break them up and then kill everybody. And these gatherings are known as conventicles.
What?
I'm going to pronounce it that way.
Conventicles?
It might be different. Covenanticles.
Okay.
I don't know. And they were brutally suppressed. So to avoid capture, Peden used disguises, including this gorgeous mask that you've just cast your eyes upon, Michelle.
Jesus Christ.
And of course, that mask would have completely altered his appearance, changed the shape of his face, obscured his identity, made him unrecognizable even to people who knew him.
Yeah.
So this wasn't theatrical, it was survival.
Survival. I mean, you think about all the famous masks.
Yeah.
People in history, right? Star Wars, not a real person. But, like...
Real to some.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Proper mask to conceal his identity. Evil.
No, he was concealing his ugly face, though, wasn't he? Because he had an accident and he looked awful underneath. Couldn't breathe properly.
Was it really? I thought it was also because...
Yes, watch the film.
Yes, but I thought it was because he didn't want Skywalker to know that I am your father.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Skywalker ever knew that he was going to be his father. He didn't know who his father was.
I tell you what, one of the shittest masks, kind of cool, Zorro. You can see the whole face.
Oh, just the eye
it.
mask. Yeah, what's with that?
I mean, that's like...
We know who you are. Same with the Lone Ranger.
Exactly. You put that on.
We can see your face.
You put that on and you just like, dude, I can basically see every fucking feature on your face. I know who you are. Shit mask.
Get yourself a misshapen piece of leather, couple of teeth, and some hair. Then let's talk. But you can't have a crush on Alexander Peden. You can have a crush on the Lone Ranger.
What about that mask in that Hannibal Lecter had?
Oh, yes, that wasn't nice.
No, that was scary.
No, leathery. Anything leathery. Just not nice. It's the stuff of nightmares. So going back to Alexander Peden,
Yes.
Despite the fear and the danger, and yes, the deeply horrifying face situation, Peden became wildly beloved. His sermons were considered so powerful that people believed he had prophetic gifts. So stories would circulate, even during the time that he was alive, that he could foresee deaths and disasters and even political changes. Like he became this magical being.
Right.
Whether you believe it or not, the devotion he inspired was real. And he became known as the Prophet of Scotland.
Okay.
That's quite remarkable when you consider that at times he was turning up to preach wearing what can only be described as a nightmare-inducing leather face with human hair and fake teeth attached.
Actually, when you look at that mask, it is a bit ginge. That hair is a bit ginge.
Well, we're in Scotland.
You're Scottish.
You know those little hats you can get with a tuft of ginger?
Oh, look, we just had Paddy's Day here and they have all those leprechaun hats with the fake orange hair coming out.
That's right.
Different country, obviously. But anyway.
I was going to say, hang on a sec, they've got it wrong. What's she on about?
What? Huh?
Silly bitch.
What?
Anyway, people followed him. They loved him. They protected him. They hid him. They risked their lives for him. And that must be some charisma that guy had, plus a fuck ugly mask.
Yep.
So after years of persecution, exile and ill health, most of it caused by imprisonment, Peden died, because you want to know what happened to Peden. He died in 1686, And that wasn't long before the worst of the Covenanter repression finally eased. And the mask itself disappeared from public knowledge for over a century. 100 years went missing. But then it was rediscovered in the 1840s, hidden inside a cottage in Ayrshire, which is an area that was strongly associated with all the Covenanter resistance. And today it's held by National Museum Scotland, which is where you probably have seen his picture. And it's now on display in Edinburgh. So if you find yourself up that way, pop in and take a look.
And become traumatized.
Yeah. You're not just looking at something creepy. You're also looking at physical evidence
History.
of religion, terror, exactly, state violence, history, and the lengths that someone will go to for free speech. Let's hope those days are long gone, Michelle. Or perhaps we ought to get papier-mâchéing.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
End up like those kids in Angine de Poitrine.
They're not kids.
No, they're not bloody kids. Let me ask you a question. If you were in some hideously disfiguring accident, and I'm touching wood here,
Yeah.
so that it does not
Yeah,
happen.
I'll touch wood too, thanks. Why has it got to be me? Can it be you?
No, just you. I'm asking the questions. Would you wear a mask a la Phantom of the Opera to cover half your face if, for example, it got half melted off or something?
God,
or would you just be loud and proud?
I don't know. I've never thought about it, Michelle, and I don't wish to. I would say that maybe it can be horrifying to be out and about with a melted face, but I might just go au naturel. Yeah.
Well, this is what happened to me. Do you remember I went
It happened to you?
It did. Do you remember I went on a date with that guy? All of his profile pictures were all kind of like art shots, moody lighting. You only saw like half of his face. And I thought, oh, he looks interesting, very arty. And then we met up on the date and like one side of his face was normal and the other side was hideously disfigured. I couldn't help myself and I went, oh, you don't look like your pictures. And I thought you were dead. And
No.
And I said, what happened to you?
Oh, God, Michelle, straight in there.
Straight in there.
What happened to you?
It was false advertising. And he said, oh, I was in a really bad motorbike accident and basically was degloved on half the side of his face. Like, I understand he wants a shot at love like everyone else.
Yeah.
But you can't start off on a lie, really. It's like,
right.
It was so shocking. I actually thought, gosh, what do you do? Like, do you wear like man makeup? He was just au naturel, but obviously it was really traumatic for him and he just literally put his best face forward on the apps.
Oh, God.
So anyway, we didn't have a second date.
How did the date go? Was he nice?
No, he was angry.
Angry? Why? Because you said, what happened to you? I thought you were better looking than this. Jesus,
No.
that's a bit of false advertising.
Excuse me, I would never have come if I'd known half your face was basically melted off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but actually I don't know that I would have gone on a date with someone who maybe looked like that because obviously it's very shallow, but I wasn't attracted to him. But I also understand his, he wants to find love and he wants to find someone who can overlook that.
Yes. That would take more than one date.
Yes.
And you couldn't be angry on the first date. I think you'd have to be much more yourself on the first date. And I think a heads up would have been required as well.
A heads up.
Because otherwise you end up going out with people who just can't see beyond it.
It was so shocking and then felt so dishonest. That was also part of the reason why I don't want to be with someone who is so dishonest. I mean, I also, shaved a few years off those apps, off my age, and that blew up in my face one time. So that, I had a lesson in dishonesty and it doesn't go well. So I've seen it from both sides and you can't start things off on a lie.
No, you can't. But listen, going back to Peden, I just want to say he may have been a true inspiration to guys who need masks everywhere and proof that even if you look like a haunted leather goblin, you can still change history and hold down a respectable job whilst doing so. So it's not always negative, Michelle. Masks can work.
Yes, they can work.
You got the vibes.
I got the vibes.
You got the vibes.
I got the vibes. Well, I'm going to move on to death masks now.
Oh, like a shroud?
Oh.
Shroud masks?
Not a shroud, a death mask, exactly.
Okay.
Well, it's not a shroud.
Like a shroud, deathy... No, but...
A mask that you put on a death...
Shroudy, deathy mask.
Not a shroudy one, just a mask that you put on someone's face. I'll tell you about it, all right?
Okay, yes.
We're going to start on the 7th of May, 1821. 2 doctors in a panic. There's a decomposing body and time is running out. If they don't act fast, a face that had changed history would be lost forever, because just hours earlier, the Emperor of France, Napoleon Bonaparte, had died after 6 years in exile on the island of St. Helena, a bleak, isolated rock in the South Atlantic. This sounds great, doesn't it? You want to go on holiday again to France? I do.
Oh.
Those present wanted to create a death mask, which is a plaster cast taken shortly after death to preserve a person's final features. Not a shroudy shroud or whatever it was that you were saying.
Okay.
There are 2 problems here, though. First, St. Helena was 800 miles from anywhere. There are no shops, no plaster. Napoleon himself had called this a miserable and dreary rock. And second problem was that neither of the 2 doctors present had ever made a death mask before, and the clock was ticking. You can imagine time was of the essence, because obviously the longer you leave the guy dying, he's not going to look as great anymore.
Are you going to tell me these guys invented paper mache?
I don't think I am. Hold your horses, Nellie.
Okay.
Let me tell the frickin' story. The clock's ticking, as I've said. The history of death masks, okay? It goes back thousands of years. These guys didn't invent it. In ancient cultures, there weren't realistic casts at all. They were basically idealized, sculptural, beautiful faces, elite objects designed to protect the dead in the afterlife or ward off evil spirits. But everything changed in Europe after the Black Death. Because in the late Middle Ages, half the population had been wiped out by the plague and death became an obsession. So this is when true death masks have emerged. They were made by pressing wax or plaster, not papier-mâché, directly onto the face of the dead and allowed sculptors to create lifelike effigies for funerals and tombs. And then, in the 18th century, something darker happened. People began collecting death masks for fun.
Oh.
Would you, though?
So what, they went in and dug up graves and took the masks?
Let me tell you. For the next 200 years, doctors across Europe preserved the faces of the dead with grim enthusiasm. They would get people who were really famous or criminals or even babies. And this practice overlapped with the rise of something called phrenology, which is the belief that someone's character could be read from the shape of their skull. This has now been discredited, by the way. You'll be pleased to know that.
But I do remember phrenology, and I've actually got a lump on my head. And I always thought, gosh.
You'll be rich.
I had an itchy palm the other day, and I was like,
You'll be rich.
Money.
Money's coming.
Money's coming.
Some of these death masks became family heirlooms. Others became macabre souvenirs worth enormous sums, and one was even described as having a beauty comparable to the Mona Lisa. But now we're going back to St. Helena, where Napoleon's doctors were still stuck with what to do with this slowly melting body. His personal physician, Francois Antoine-Marchis, tried a desperate solution. He bought around 150 small plaster figurines, ground them into a powder, and attempted to create a workable plaster mixture.
Did it work?
Well, it didn't work. No, it didn't.
It's already been fired.
Yeah, it wouldn't stick together properly.
No.
The second doctor, Francis Burton, who was an Irish surgeon, took a more specific approach. He searched for gypsum, which is the mineral used to make plaster.
Yes. Gyprock.
It's heated to remove its water and ground into powder, then mixed again with water to form a paste that hardens as it dries. And eventually they found a local source, and a full day and a half after Napoleon's death, the cast was finally taken, which is far later than ideal because decomposition had already started.
Yes, of course. Gross.
Yeah, the muscles in his face had relaxed, yes. His cheeks were sunken, exactly.
Yeah.
His eyes were hollow. And the result is unsettling. It's not the commanding emperor of portraits, but a softened, almost peaceful version of death.
Okay.
But what happened next surprised everyone. Antoine-Marchis stole the mold blueprint of his face and reproduced hundreds of copies, selling them as souvenirs for as little as 20 francs.
Oh my God.
The original mask is now lost, but replicas still sit in museums and private collections across the world.
Oh my God. Would you want that on your mantelpiece?
I don't know if you do.
I don't think so. And it would stink.
It would stink, would it? I think you can wash it out. That's just the mold. They then take the mould off and then put the plaster in them, I think. I don't know. But when Isaac Newton died peacefully in 1727 at the age of 84, he had a death mask made of his final frozen face as well.
I would not want a desk mask. I would not want a death mask.
On your desk?
I do not want a death mask. And the reason is, don't remember me this way.
This is the last face.
Hopefully I die at 103 or whatever. Remember me as young and gorgeous.
Not that last final face. Yeah, exactly.
Or just remember me or don't. I don't need a mask.
Well, listen, loads of people were getting right into this. And actually it goes back as far as the 2nd century AD, where ordinary people began having their own death masks done, including women and children, not just emperors. One haunting example is Claudia Victoria, who's a 10-year-old girl from Roman Gaul, and her little face was cast in plaster and buried with her. And there's an inscription which reads, "Her mother made this monument for her sweet daughter and for herself in her lifetime." But then we get on to the most famous mask of all. In the late 1880s, and if you are looking at Instagram, you'll have seen this somewhere. It keeps popping up. The body of a young woman was pulled from the River Seine. It's all very French, and it's remarkable because I've just come from there. Not Paris, but this is the River Seine in Paris.
Yes.
She was never identified, this woman who they pulled out of the water in the late 1880s. Her corpse was displayed in the city morgue as a public attraction at the time.
What the hell?
I know. Perhaps in the hope that someone would recognize her, but also just weird.
That is weird.
But along the way, a pathologist became transfixed by her beauty. So before she was buried, he made a death mask. And that became known as l'inconnu de la Seine, which shows a serene, faintly smiling face. And it became incredibly popular and was reproduced and displayed in homes and adored by artists and writers. It was like a work of art. But then decades later, a Norwegian toy manufacturer chose her face as the model for a training mannequin for CPR. So she is now known as Rescue Annie.
Oh my God.
She's that body that you learn how to blow into when you're learning when you're having some sort of St. John's ambulance training. And that little face has helped to save over 2.5 million lives, apparently, estimated.
They could have chosen any face. I mean,
They could have.
But isn't this, I don't know, I'm getting like mannequin vibes here for some reason. Yeah.
People do get plaster cast molds done for mannequins because some of the mannequins in fashion are modelled on Helena Christensen or what's her name, the one that wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name, the Canadian one. Linda Evangelista, that's
Linda.
it.
Did you ever see that Seinfeld episode where Elaine went out shopping and there was in the window a mannequin and it was her?
No.
And it was a creepy stalker who was obsessed with her and made a mannequin of her.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I love Seinfeld, even all these years later. So good.
You'll have to put a link to that episode.
Yeah, I will.
But even artists like Tracy Emin have utilised the death mask. She made an ironic autobiographical death mask for one of her shows. And sculptor Robert Gober created a hybrid mask combining his own face with the snout of his dog Paco, which kind of blended some ancient ritual with love and grief. I suppose the dog died. Not of getting his face plaster casted, I hope.
No.
But death masks, they sit in kind of uncomfortable territory. And they're not really done anymore, apart from, like I said, with Tracy Emin and Robert Gober. But they are about memory. And maybe about control, like the ultimate selfie. I don't know.
Would you do one of Winter, your dog?
No, I wouldn't. I've got my photos and my memories, as long as they last.
I think it's enough. You could always do a little paw print.
We could.
In a plaster cast. We just had steps done here and Queen's little paws.
Oh.
Paw prints are all over these bloody steps. And do you remember when you were a kid and they would do the footpaths and then you'd go down while the cement was still wet and you'd you'd do love hearts and put your initials in and all that kind of stuff. I kind of prefer that to a death mask, I would say.
Like a little snippet of history, a little like a time capsule almost. But I suppose the death mask for some, before we had all of these things that we could use or reflect upon, like photos and videos and whatnot, they're a way to preserve identity because they didn't want to forget certain people, I suppose.
But it's like photographs. Photographs are only meaningful
if you know the people in them.
Yes.
So what happens to all those photos from years ago when the last of the family has passed away? They get burnt or binned or whatever.
A friend of mine's partner passed away and she was like, what do I do with the phone?
Oh.
And all the photos on the phone.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with this. And the family didn't want the phone or the photos. No one wants them. It's really interesting. When we go, who cares about all my pictures on the cloud?
Who cares? No one wants to access your cloud.
No one.
No.
No. Get off my cloud.
Hey, you get off of my cloud. Exactly.
In this digital age, people are really reevaluating what's important. Do we look back to the past? Do we need to keep from the past? Do we live in the present? People always say, oh, if my house was burning down, I'd run in and get the photo albums. I don't think people care anymore.
No, because you've got your phone. That's the thing that you keep on you at all times and run with.
I mean, there would be no second thought. I mean, it would be right by your bed, so you grab your phone and run.
Yeah, because you might need to call for help or call the fire brigade.
Yeah. Eavesdroppers, if you are listening, well, I want to know. Please write in and tell me if you have any thoughts about are photos important anymore?
That's a question. That's a conundrum.
Well, it's because, too, it used to be when photographs were actually printed on paper.
Yeah.
You'd get a one and done. You had a roll of film, you could take one shot of one thing because it was expensive.
Yeah.
Now you can take 75 pictures of the same thing to get the perfect one, or take one and throw it in AI. Like, are photographs important anymore?
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
There's a question, listeners. You know what to do. Send it into our email at... What is it again?
hello@eavesdroppinpodcast.com.
Thank you. Or you can reach us on the social medias as well. Instagram is...
Eavesdroppin__
and same with Facebook, I think.
No, I think it's Eavesdroppin Podcast on
yes.
Facey.
Get on there.
Get on it.
Become a member.
Get
on it.
On it.
So there you have the creepy world of masks, Michelle.
Well, thank you. Very interesting. I hadn't really thought about masks. I don't think about masks a lot, but I did recently because of those masked boys on that video, and very timely. Very timely.
It's all about the mask, right?
Yes. In fact, I was just on Amazon this morning looking for masks because Andreas is going to a stag do, and I said, well, you need some bloody masks or something.
So you can get up to hijinks and no one will recognise you.
Yes, but I think he ended up getting an apron with a penis on it. And
Oh, that's horrific.
It's terrible.
Like an actual latex penis glued onto his apron.
Kind of, yeah. And,
that's foul.
And there's also like a strap-on penis and you have to throw the ring on the penis. And
Oh, God. So even guys have penis fun at do's.
I think so. It's all about humiliation.
Oh, let's poke fun of the penis because it's hilarious.
Well, it's better than some of the other things that were on there. You can get these hats that say end of life, beginning of the wife or something.
Oh, no.
And it's like, oh, come on. I prefer to throw a ring on a penis than walk around, have a hat like that for them.
Put the chain on, the handcuffs on the penis or something. I don't know.
Actually, when we were in Italy, it's all about the penis. We went into an alcohol shop and they had a strawberry liqueur in a penis-shaped bottle.
Oh, why?
With a bow tie on it. With a pink bow tie on
Why?
it. I don't know. So we bought that.
Did you take a picture? Oh, you bought it?
For the groom, yes.
Oh, I see. Have you got a picture?
He'll have to drink a little shot. Yeah, I'll pop a picture on the Instagram before we give it away to the groom.
Put it on the Patreon as well.
Yes.
And that reminds us, we are now in April, so pretty soon you're going to have an episode over on Patreon, which is only for the members. You have to buy us a cup of coffee or a packet of chewing gum. Metaphorically.
Yes,
What you really have to do is pop some coins in our slots and then you get access to extra content. And we've got a few fun things coming out in April, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, Michelle, I think there's only 9 things to say, actually.
Oh.
It's 9 things. Wherever you are, that's 3.
No, that's not things. That's words.
Oh.
Oh.
We're not counting the words, we're counting the actual things.
Wherever you are. That's one thing.
Okay. Whatever you do, that's the other.
And then the last thing is the third.
Just keep eavesdropping.
Eavesdroppin.
I almost forgot what it was.
Eavesdroppin', 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 eavesdroppin'.